The state stopped collecting information on why older adults died during open abuse and neglect investigations. Meanwhile, state officials are pushing for genetic data privacy. What was once a coal-fired plant will power AI. Also, this is a pretty great place to work. I'm Claudia Dimuro, and you're listening to Today, PA. In 2021, the State Department of Aging began to track the cause of death for every older adult who died during an active investigation, reports Spotlight PA. Each death was documented and the information then cross-referenced with other records from the State Health Department. If the main cause of death indicated suspicious activity, the state would review that person's protective services case file to see if anything went awry with the investigation. If a connection was found between their death and failures in the investigation, the state would then work with the appropriate county agent agency to correct those deficiencies. This is meant to strengthen the safety net for vulnerable older adults, as this was a time when they were dying in alarmingly high numbers. However, the Shapiro administration stopped collecting this data last year. They also don't examine whether delays or other investigative failures by county agencies had a hand in an elderly individual's death anymore either. When initially emailed by Spotlight PA, department spokeswoman Karen Gray said the review process, quote, never existed, unquote, prior to the tenure of current department lead Jason Kavulich, who put in motion the policy that halted the process. When informed there were records of its existence, she then wrote back saying the department was unaware of any such process that had been authorized, and that it wouldn't be, quote, within the scope, unquote, of the department's authority. 23andMe filed for bankruptcy recently and intends to sell all the genetic data it has to the highest bidder, reports Axios Pittsburgh, which is what inspired State Representatives Emily Kincaid and Brian Monroe to introduce the Genetic Materials Privacy and Compensation Act. This law would give Pennsylvanians the legal right to control how their DNA is used, and that they get paid if it's somehow sold. The two plan on formally introducing the bill in the coming weeks. What was once Pennsylvania's biggest coal-fired power plant will become a gas-powered AI data center campus, states the Associated Press. The owners of the Homer City Generating Station, which is roughly 50 miles east of Pittsburgh, broke this news on Wednesday. The new $10 billion plant will house 7 gas-fired turbines which will power the data centers with up to 4.5 gigawatts of electricity. For context, that's enough energy to power up about 3 million homes. Construction is expected to start this year, and the lights might be on by 2027. Some of the former plant has already been demolished to make way. It's that time of year when Fortune publishes its 100 best companies to work for list, says PennLive. And for the 10th year in a row, Altoona's very own Sheetz made it onto there. Sheetz ranked 40th overall and was the sole convenience store to be mentioned. And first was the Hilton. That's it for today. For even more in and out-of-state news, visit PennLive.com. And please don't forget to rate this podcast and to share it around with people you think would like it too. Thanks ahead of time, and as always, thanks for listening. I'm Claudia Dimuro, and we'll get together for Friday's episode of Today in PA.